back. It's been a good minute, but I'm glad to be back. I hope you guys have been well. I know I have. If you are new, thank you so much for clicking on my video. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you decide to become part of the family. My name is Brenda, but you can call me Chio. But let's jump to the video. But today we're talking about the silent twins. I love the silent twins. The parents of the silent twins were Gloria and Aubrey Gibbons. So the twins, June and Jennifer Gibbons, were born in Barbados on April 11th of 1963, but later moved to Wales in England. So I have heard that twins have like this unique connection. It's like if one of them is feeling one thing, the other one would be feeling the exact same thing without them even communicating. I heard in some cases, or like families, they separate the twins. So like the parents would be taking care of one and the grandparents or uncles, aunts would be taking care of the other twin, because it can be really bad when they get like upset or sick, and it would be better for them to be separated. This was kind of the case for these twins. It was like they couldn't be together, but they couldn't be apart. The twins started talking like really late, and when they did start talking, they had a speech impediment, so it was really hard for them to communicate with others, especially with adults. So it came to the point that they made their own language, and people said that it sounded like it was two birds chirping. They later came to find out that they were actually speaking English. It was just like really sped up.
He quickly realized that the girls spoke to each other when on their own, and so she hid microphones in the room to record their conversations. Although unintelligible at first, by slowing the tape down, she discovered that their secret language was none other than English.
My name is Jennifer. All right, and again. That's much clearer. Right, let's have it.
If they were asked a question, they would turn to each other and talk in their own language and agree on an answer, even though the question was only referred to one of them. In school, they were bullied because they were twins, and it wasn't very common apparently, and they were black. The bullying got so bad that the teachers had to let the twins out 5 minutes early so they would have time to get out of the school before the other kids had time to bully them.
They were totally expressionless. You spoke to them, they didn't react, they didn't look at you. 13-year-olds tear about the place.
Both twins start their dinner at the same time as the other children. The amount of food they put on the fork and the speed at which they eat is so slow that while everyone else is finishing their second course and leaving the dining room, the twins are still busy with their first.
Because they were so quiet and antisocial, the school came up with the idea of separate them. They tried to put them in 2 different schools, but it was just made it so much worse. They were really sad and almost depressed. They didn't talk to not anybody, so they had to put them back together. When they were home, they would spend the whole day in their rooms and only talked to each other. They played with their dolls and basically made up this perfect world that they just wanted so bad. They didn't even talk to their parents. They only talked to their sister, but it wasn't even for long. It was only while they shared a room, and once she turned 11, she moved rooms and they just blocked her out as well. At the age of 16, they dropped out of school and they only stayed home again only to talk to each other. They decided that they wanted to write books, poems, and they were given these super cute leather journals which became their diaries. They wrote absolutely everything in their diaries, whether it was good or bad, their thoughts, their actions, and their opinions towards each other. And it was while reading these journals that people figured out their actual feelings towards each other, and it was not a lot of good feelings. They wrote that they basically hated each other. There was so much jealousy and hatred. Like, Jennifer wrote that she always felt that, I'm sorry about the background noise, but anyways, she always felt that June was prettier and smarter and more independent, more free. And she was also jealous because she was a few minutes younger than her. This is something that they wrote in their poem. Something like magic is happening. I am seeing Jennifer for the first time like she is seeing me. I think she is slow, cold, has no respect and talks too much, but she thinks I am the same. We are both holding each other back. There is a murderous gleam in her eye. Dear Lord, I am scared of her. She is not normal. She is having a nervous breakdown. Someone is driving her insane. It is me. It was also during this time that they became obsessed with these two American boys that they had met in school. So they went out looking for the boys, and these boys were nothing but trouble. They stole and they drank. They were into drugs, and these boys just opened a whole another world to them. They became just like them. They were wild. They started experimenting with drugs. They started drinking. They were having sex and just feeling a lot of freedom, I guess. But when they were with them, the twins became so much more violent towards each other, to the point that they wanted to kill each other.
The girls vied for the attentions of the boys. The struggle between them intensified and grew violent.
I'm not ashamed to say that I tried to kill my sister. Things got out of hand. I did not succeed in strangling her with the wire to the radio. I'm sure she wanted to kill me too. I have a grave feeling she did.
We're fighting. I pushed her in the river. I said to myself, if I kill her now, maybe I'll have a happy life. No more hassle, no more heart, steal my personality, no more fighting, no more arguing. Get it over with. I pushed her in the river and I pushed her and held her down. I said, right, go on, die, go and die.
And they really believed that these boys loved them because the twins were in love with them. But at one point, or one day, they went searching for the boys, and they had left a note saying that they were going to go back to America. According to some people, the boys didn't really feel anything for the girls. They just kept them interested so they would come back for sex. So of course the girls were really, really upset and really sad. Also, their books were not getting a lot of attention, so everything just started to become dark. Their writings, their poetry, their books, even their diaries, they were just turning really, really dark. Their books started becoming crime and mystery books, and at one point they just wanted to actually cause trouble themselves. So they started going out at night, and one day they just burned down a building. So they wrote this down in their diaries, and that's eventually how they got caught, because they had confessed everything and the police saw their diaries. And this is what they wrote down in their diary. All this week I wanted to burn down a tractor store in Snowdrop Lane. I burned it down today, with the help of Jay, of course. It was the biggest night of my life. We climbed over a barbed wire fence. The sky grew blacker, and it started to rain. All the while, my lovely, glorious fire was licking its way through the roof, and the thick smoke filled the night sky. It was a picture which will live in my mind forever. Oh, what a sinful, evil, selfish mind. I know the Lord will forgive me. And it's been a long, painful, hard year. Don't I deserve to express my distress? While waiting for trial, the girls got locked up and they were put in 2 separate rooms, each with their diary. And they noticed that they were so sad and just depressed. So they thought it was best to put the girls together so they could at least talk to each other. But it was just so horrible. They got on arguments off of the smallest things, and they were getting physical fights all the time. So eventually they were separated again, only to go back to being upset. So after waiting all that time, they finally found a hospital that would take them. The only hospital that would take them was Broadmoor Hospital. In the hospital, the girls were getting tested on and studied on to see how they reacted. They took care of them though. They took good care of them. And they were actually put in 2 separate rooms in the opposite sides of the hospital. And they were acting so strange, but it was like they were one person. Like when they went to see them, the girls were laying in the exact same position all the time. Like they were looking at each other. And again, they were in 2 separate areas of the hospital. And again, they were so quiet, barely talked to anyone. And they also had days in which one of them would eat and then the other one would starve herself, and they switched between days, like they agreed on it. But in March of 1993, the girls finally got permission to be moved to a clinic with less security. But before they even had the chance to move them, the girls decided that one of them had to die. They had always believed that one of them had to die in order for the other one to have a normal life. Jennifer decided that it would be her that would give up her life. Like, again, she always felt that June was more independent, more intelligent, and prettier. She felt that June was better. So on their trip to Caswell Clinic, June said that Jennifer lied down on her lap and seemed as if she was sleeping with her eyes open.
She complained of being weak and tired. I forgot the minibus to go. She was a bit tired. She had a bit of head on my shoulder. And then she said, at last, we're out of Broadmoor.
So when they got to the clinic, they said that they were trying to wake Jennifer up, but she was not getting up. So they rushed her to the hospital, where she later died of acute myocarditis or inflammation. They said that this was really rare and rarely caused death. When they did the autopsy, they said that there was no sign of drug or poison in her body. It was a natural death, and she died at the age of 29. So their plan did end up working. June went on to have a normal life. She stayed at the clinic and she served the time that she had to serve, but she became a much better person. Her speech became better. She became more social and more talkative, more active. June says that she really does miss her sister, but it was for the better. And even though thinking of her makes her sad, she feels that it gives her more strength to live, that she's living for the both of them.
I feel that I'm living for her. This is what she would have wanted, for me to go on living for her. Every day I wake up and say to myself, well, there's one more day for me, but one more day for my sister as well. I live for her. And what I see and do, she does as well. She's not missing out on nothing because she's with me.
This is a poem that June wrote down for Jennifer that was later engraved in her gravestone. And it says, quote, "We once were two. We two made one. We no more two. Through life be one. Rest in peace." I hope you guys found this story as interesting as I did. I think it was very special. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like. Follow me on my social media that will be listed down below. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you, you will see me, and we will see each other on my next video. Bye.